Okay, this should be live on YouTube. I'm getting ready to set up my Facebook. Should be almost ready to go. Broadcast. Yeah. Okay. All right. Hopefully my Facebook is set up too. I am not turning that on. Right now I'm trying to use these noise canceling headphones. If it's too soft, you can try to let me know. I'm not sure if my chats will work on this. Try to open up YouTube on my browser. Just all stuff. This is all stuff I've looked at before. I don't know why it's all coming up when I've already looked at it on here before. Okay, so I don't know. Go to my channel. Yeah, this is it. All right, so hopefully, if anybody puts anything in the YouTube chats, I will be able to look at it. I can hear myself, so. Okay. Ah, all right. Um, and I will also check my Facebook real quick. Myself. Here, I should. Come on. Okay. All right. That's all good. Just go. There we go. All right. So now, if anybody leaves any comments, I should be able to kind of go back and forth on Facebook and YouTube. It's not ideal, but it'll work. Okay. I'm going to turn volume off though on my online feeds. I think my phone just shut off. Something went. It seems to be going. It seems to be going, but I heard the chime that I usually hear when my phone shuts off because it's gotten too hot. Okay, there. All right. Now, so I can't hear anybody, including myself, but everybody else should be able to hear me if they have the volume on. I am here today because I am trying to set up my room to better use the space that I have set aside within my room to do office work, to do discussions and reactions, and to do live streams. I will get up in a little while and show you kind of what I'm dealing with, and then I will explain some of the ideas I have on how I want to rearrange things in here in order to make better use of the space. All right, so as you can see, behind me is my bed and armoire, a dresser, the little setup I have for a nightstand. It's not a real nightstand, it's just something that I have set over there to make sure that I can charge my phone at night, turn on the light, read if I want to, grab icy hot or whatever it is that I need to use at night when I go to sleep, that kind of stuff. Okay. But I am planning on moving all that away from there. Okay. And right here in front of me, I have what used to be my nightstand. Okay. This has two drawers in it for clothing, which I just put a couple simple things in here that I would only use for like this stuff that I don't use for my regular everyday life. I put in the two drawers. I have a slider that's on it, which is supposed to be for other stuff, but because of how I'm using it, I use it for my keyboard. So it has my keyboard, it has my mouse. It's a very tight spot, but it works for what I need it for right now. Then up here on the top of it in front of me, I have a laptop set up. It's an MSI gaming series. It's one that I actually bought for my husband a long time ago. It was probably top of the line when I got it, but it is getting old and it's definitely not top of the line anymore. Okay, so I've got the laptop here. I keep it closed most of the time, and then I have a big arced monitor in front of it, which gives me the space to open up my video editor, open up Streamlabs, open up my browser, open up the files and stuff that I need to move around. I usually cannot open all of that stuff at the same time. Oh yeah, yeah, I can't usually open up all that stuff at the same time because it will overload this um, quite old gaming laptop. But I can do at least a couple things at the same time, and it does give me the space that I need to look at it. It gives me the resources I need to use if I decide to do a discussion or a reaction for a show or movie that I am able to watch on my computer. If I can't watch it on my computer, then I have to go and hook my computer up. Then I have to go and hook up to the TV and deal with that. But anyway, let's see. Okay, so what do I want to start with? Okay, I have a file cabinet over here. I have it's actually a jewelry stand, but I use it for propping my phone camera on a what do you call it? I can't remember. It's just a place to store all your digital files. Okay. I put a lot of my videos and pictures and things like that on there when I am done with them. And then my, my, my power pack for the laptop. Okay. What else? I have a stack over here of just random stuff that I'm storing. Uh, art supplies, old files and paperwork. I used to be an educator, so a lot of the old education files and stuff that I had, um, not actually like personal private files of anybody's, no, just stuff for while I was, for while I was working. Stuff like that. I have another box. I think it has stuff in it, but I don't remember what. It's possible it could be empty of just styrofoam and whatever is left, because it is a box that used to have, I think, a monitor or something like that in it. Okay. So anyway, box, a bin, another bin, stack of books, old Amazon box, um, what is this thing called? A humidifier, wrestling glove. Okay. Um, and then over here, past the filing cabinet, I have a sleeping bag, some boxes, and my dresser. Okay, which you can see my dresser. Now, I am gonna get up and I'm gonna start trying to show you stuff. If you are on, you can look. I will go ahead and check my YouTube real quick to see any comments are on, and they're not. Okay, so I'm gonna get up. This may look wonky because I am going to move my desktop camera around, and I am going to move my phone camera. I am I am streaming to YouTube on my desktop camera. I'm streaming to Facebook on my phone camera. So I'm going to pick both of them up and start to show you some of the things that I am thinking about doing to rearrange my room. I can't move too much because being hooked up to the headphones, but all right. Okay, so in this corner over here where that filing cabinet is and that sleeping bag is, oh yeah, and these boxes are all just Christmas stuff that are going to be for people in the house. Book one. All right. Okay, so in this corner over here where that curtain is, where my filing cabinet is, I am hoping to set up a spot to record discussions, not reactions, just discussions. I move this here. Okay. I may use this chair that I usually use for the discussions and reactions that I do now, but I haven't decided that yet in this area over here. Okay. It's a little hard to get it right because it's just like, I can't seem to, can't seem to focus it how I want it. But anyway, along that curtain, I was thinking about doing discussions, but it depends on if I can get the right kind of lighting. I have checked how the lighting looks at various times of day through that window, and it seems to be the best window I have in here to avoid having blinding light from the sun coming in. Okay, now this is the area where I have my computer set up. Okay, and that nightstand that I said has two drawers, a slider, my monitor, my laptop on it. Okay, and this window gets blinding light sometimes in the morning, but it's not too terribly awful, but it can be problematic for recording images on sometimes. This one over here. Okay, do I have it right? Yeah. Okay. This one over here, in the morning, the light that comes in that window is really, really bad and blinding. So it causes a lot of problems if I have anything that I am recording with. I get, I not only do I get blinding light that kind of interferes, but it also causes the red, that red burgundy color from the curtains to almost reflect off my face and my eyes. And then so sometimes my eyes will look kind of red and bloodshot, even if they're not, which I find disturbing. Okay, now let's trying to get it. I'm having difficulty like pointing my phone in the right places because it feels like I have to like bend my wrist all awkward. All right, this is the area where I am thinking about I'm thinking about putting my nightstand back over in that area and taking one of those basically meal stands and putting it on the top of my nightstand. Okay. I want to be able to use the wall space that is right behind that area to put my degree and my degrees and certifications and stuff on, because right now I have no wall space that I can use. So that's what I'm hoping to do. I would take that rose mirror down from that spot. I would probably move those over and then put my degrees and a couple certifications that I have in that spot. Okay. Now, try to move around. Okay, but I want to use, okay, I want to use this nightstand, okay, to do that. And I don't want it actually the way that most people would think of putting it, where the drawers are facing out and the back is facing the wall. I actually want to pull it away from the wall a little bit so that I can sit with the wall behind me. Okay? That's what I want to use as my area for reactions and for live streams, possibly. I haven't decided for sure, but that's what I'm thinking. It's a small area, but it is no smaller than the area that I'm using right now. Okay, so I wanted to take this nightstand and I wanted to put one of those dinner trays on the top of it, basically. Put the monitor on top of the dinner tray and then the keep the laptop underneath and hopefully have enough space underneath for both the laptop and for my phone that I am using. That I usually use my phone to do these recordings. Um okay, and I think I already told you what I want to do with that area over there. Okay, I haven't decided officially what I want to do with the filing cabinet. I'm thinking I will use it near one of the spaces that I want to do reactions or recordings on or live streams on, just to put other stuff on. But I haven't decided for sure. And, um, okay, now, some of the concerns I have, I already addressed the issue with sunshine coming in through the windows. That can be a problem. I already told you about like some of the problems I experience now when there's too much sun coming in through the window. Okay. I also going to show you behind my computer because I am hoping to actually have the back of this nightstand and computer facing out in my room. Okay, this night you can see I'm trying. It's just hard to move things around. Okay, so that's the nightstand. This is the back of my monitor, and okay, I'm gonna put these things back now. But my big concern with that, my big concern with facing the nightstand in that position and having my computer monitor facing outwards in my room is that it might look very unattractive. There's only so much I can do with the wires and cables that are in the back of the computer and the monitor in order to try to make them look more organized and upkept. But I don't know. I need to try to find a way to make this work better. Okay, and like I said, I wanted to put my degrees and certifications over there, and I want to be able to film with the wall behind me because I would like to be able to do live streams with my certifications and stuff showing in the background when I'm doing like Zoom calls and stuff like that. I said live streams, but more for when I'm doing Zoom calls. Okay. Um, and I want the outside of my monitor and my nightstand that are likely to be showing, if I set them up how I want them, to not look terrible. So I don't know how well that will go, but if anybody has any ideas, you can put your ideas in the suggestions. I want to make sure that if I use that area in front of my window, that it doesn't cause a bunch of problems with the lighting streaming in from the burgundy colored curtain, or with blinding light coming in and like, because if it gets too light in here, if it's too bright in here, I try to use natural light as much as I can, and I do use the room lights to try to give myself some extra light in the room, but I like to use the natural light. But like I said, sometimes it's too much. It makes, like on certain video editors and certain devices, it makes my face look like a glowing white. I can try to edit the footage from there, but that actually uses up a lot of resources. It often messes up my video, or it messes up everything that I'm doing on the computer. Okay. So, so it's just not ideal to have to sit there and edit my video after it's already been recorded. Um, or while it's recording, sometimes while it's recording, it depends on what I'm using, but I just want to be able to have a decent image without the, blinding bright white. I know I have pale skin, but it makes it look so ridiculously like glowing, and it looks really bad. So I don't want that. And I want to be able to keep from having that tinge of red that kind of occurs on my face and in my eyes sometimes when the morning sunlight is coming in from this direction usually. So if you have any ideas for that, or if you think that my trying to record in front of the window is going to be a big problem, just let me know. Just put comments in the comment section or whatever, so that I can try my best to make the changes that I want to make and get this set up in a decent, more efficient way that makes good use of the space that I'm using. And I use my room because it is separate from the rest of the house. It is separate from the distractions that occur from other people in the house. Um, Plus, I try to keep everything together in one side of my room, where I don't use this part of my room for anything else, just this. I don't use it for regular bedroom stuff. So I'm trying to keep all of that together. My husband actually suggested taking that dresser over there and moving it over here to where my computer setup is, and then having some of my recording and computer stuff over here and some of my recording and computer stuff over here. But I'm really trying to keep the stuff that I use for my bedroom as part of my bedroom. I'm trying to keep that separate from what I use for office space, for reactions, discussions, Zoom calls, live streams, all of that. I'm trying to keep them separate. And if I were to put the dresser here, it would be right in the middle of those two spaces, and I really like to avoid that if I can. It may actually make better use of my space. It would provide wall space over where the dresser is, that I could actually set up um, recording stuff over there. I could set up desk space over there to do recordings and stuff like that. But it would split up the two spaces, and I'm trying to avoid splitting up the two spaces. So if you have any ideas, if you think that my husband's suggestion is actually a better idea, chime in. If you have any tips or suggestions on how to Um, keep the backspace of my monitor and nightstand looking decent, and keep the wires and cables and everything organized so that they don't look terrible, or any other suggestions that you want to offer up for using this space or what I want to do, then go ahead, leave those comments in the comment section or in chat or wherever it is that that is available. I'm gonna go real quick and check and see if there are any comments in, I think it's YouTube, because I'm looking at Facebook right now. Alright, I don't see anything. Alright, so let me see. Before I get off, I want to give a little update. Turn that off. I don't want people hearing my Handmaid's Tale stuff. Okay, I want to give a little update about what I have coming up and what I'm working on right now. So I finished doing reactions and discussions for Handmaid's Tale and for House of the Dragon. Uh, they will probably have new seasons in 2024. That's what I'm hearing. I will keep my ears open and my eyes open to find out, whenever we get more information. If they start putting out promos for any of that stuff, I will probably do at least one video or discussion about the promos. But until then, no more Handmaid's Tale and no more House of the Dragon. I'm doing a rewatch of House of the Dragon, and I already put the first one up. That involves doing episode 1 through 3 reaction for the first rewatch video, then doing 4, 5, and 6 for the second reaction video, and then doing um, 7 through 10 on the last reaction video with a brief discussion about them at the end, and probably a little bit of a kind of judgment about how I felt about each of the episodes. Okay, Handmaid's Tale, I am seriously thinking about doing a rewatch of all the seasons, but I'm not going to do reactions. Not for the whole not for every episode. What I am thinking is I can either do just a discussion at the end of each season that I rewatch, or I can just do little bits and pieces of video with reaction along with some discussion intermixed. Uh, but it would be based more on the full season rather than a per episode, because per episode for Handmaid's Tale, because it's already 5 seasons long, that would be a lot. And I really don't want to put that much into that right now, because I am going to be doing other things and I only have so much time. And I also have 2 young adult children that I have to take to and from college, one to high school, and no, they don't have driver's licenses. They are afraid to learn to drive. I have taken my oldest one out several times, and it's so bad. He's so afraid that we go very slow to the point where it's dangerous. So no driver's license yet, and my younger child is more afraid than the older one. So I don't know. Maybe someday they will learn to drive, but right now it's not a thing. My oldest does have a permit, but they're definitely not able to drive on their own, and they are definitely too slow and too scared to really drive safely. So if it happens, it will probably be a long time from now. Um, I mean, frankly, I didn't get my first license, I think, until I was 23. So he's still not there yet. So there's at least that. But anyway, I have to do all that stuff. I do work around the house and I work in the yard. trying to get stuff taken care of in the yard, and I take care of all the groceries and the bills and everything else. So this is just side stuff that I work on, and I don't have a lot of time to devote to it. Okay, let me see. I am currently doing reactions for The Crown, starting from the original season. First, I am still in first season. I think I just did episode 4. Okay, so I am not very far in. I am not going to start doing reactions for season 5 until I've done all the other reactions. It's going to be a long time. It will be a long time. So if you want Crown season 5 reactions, I'm definitely far from ready to do those. So season 1, I just did episode 4. I am doing reactions to Dairy Girls, but I only have one episode left. So one episode, and then I'm done doing reactions for Dairy Girls, and I don't have plans to do something afterwards for that, but who knows? Sometimes I get ideas in my head and go ahead and do stuff with it. We'll see, but right now I have no plans on extending anything out or doing a rewatch or anything like that. I am thinking about possibly, after I'm done with Dairy Girls, starting kind of a blast from the past reaction videos of old Supernatural from like first season on. We'll see. I haven't decided on that. You know, all of it depends on how much time I have left available. I am getting ready to start doing some work from home, which is one of the reasons that I want to get this space arranged better. Um, and I have not done a live stream in a long time. This is actually the first live stream I've done in a really long time because I have been trying to get stuff done around here and trying to get ready for doing some work on my own at home in here. Because, like I said, in here is the only space in the house where it is kind of separated and isolated from all the distractions in the rest of the house. We have 5 people that live in this house, 3 full grown adults and 2 young adults. So sometimes making use of the space that we have here. This is a 3-bedroom house. Um, Sometimes it's complicating. Sometimes it's challenging. We all have our own computers. Some of us have more than one computer. We all have our own computer spaces. We all take up, we all use a lot of technology. We all watch a lot of shows and sci-fi and stuff like that. And um, most of us are involved in college in some way or another. And so just I'm just trying to do the best I can with the space that I have. I am thinking about eventually moving, but that could be a while. I've been looking at places in Orange County. Uh, it would put it, where I'm looking, if we have the money to do it, if it's feasible enough, and if we decide to do it, where I'm looking would put us a little bit closer to where Craig works. Craig works at NASA, and the drive from here to NASA is pretty long. It takes a long time, and that would put him a little bit closer. Now, if we don't get into the community that I'm looking at, then it probably won't be any closer. Frankly, if we end up having to move to Orlando, or we have to move to Sanford or something like that, then it's probably not going to be any closer than this is right here. So, but we're looking at a community that is a little bit closer to NASA, that is in Orange County, but it's expensive. And I don't know if we can afford it, but we're thinking about it. We're just also waiting for a point where the housing market isn't so crazy and volatile, and where the economy is a little bit more stable and less volatile. And I want to talk to a couple of my friends that I have that are in real estate and ask them about some of the things that I know are going to need to be fixed around the house. We have foundation that's cracking. We have invasive Brazilian pepper trees, at least three of them that are massively overgrown in our backyard. And one of them we have been working for a while trying to just cut a little bit at a time out and get rid of it. Um, but it's massively overgrown. We had somebody come in to give us an estimate for how much it would cost to have somebody privately pull it out, and it was going to be like over 2 grand. And I was just like, no, no, I will do the work. It is hard work, but me and my husband and everybody here, we will do the work and we will slowly get it done. The problem is there's still at least two other massive pepper trees back there. Like I said, the foundation is cracking, so we have that to deal with. Um, the insurance is going to cover a new roof because of the recent hurricanes and because the roof is so old. So we're going to get a new roof, and the insurance is covering that. We also need to repaint the outside of the house because it is in bad need. It has not been painted since we moved in here. This was brand new when we moved in over 20 years ago. So, so there's work that needs to be done. And I definitely want to talk to some of my real estate friends about that so that I can get an idea of what I need to be focusing on. I want to redo all the floors, the carpet in our bedrooms and the living spaces and dining spaces. All of it's the same as what we had when we moved in. The only thing that is new is some of the appliances and some of the like paint and stuff like that. The aesthetics of certain parts of the house. So like our kitchen, the paint and the walls and stuff like that, they've been redone. The the main bathroom, that has been repainted and refloored, but the flooring is bad. I would have to have that redone. Um, the paint would actually need to be redone in that even because my kids have gotten hair dye all over it. So yeah, a lot of work that needs to be done. I want to touch base with them on that. I want to touch base with them on information about buying in the area that I want to buy in. Um, Probably buying about an acre or two of land and then getting something built on there and like who I'm gonna, figure out who I'm gonna build with and stuff like that. But it's a lot to think about. So anyway, I think that's all I have for now. Let me think if there's anything else. I went to a debate with my youngest kid not too terribly long ago, and they talked to their teacher about possibly having me go to another debate and be a judge. So on the 10th of December, I am supposed to be going to another debate, and this time I'm actually going to be judging. So, and it will be my first time judging debate or speech, so that ought to be interesting. Um, Let me think. Uh, Christmas is coming up, and we are going to be here in this area for Christmas. But after Christmas, we're going to take a trip to Pennsylvania to see some family members. I haven't decided yet. I know one of my kids wants to go to Hershey Park. We might do that if we have the money and the time and if it is open. I don't know if it'll be open at that point. I think I think they looked it up and they said whether it was open or not, but I don't remember what the what they found out. Let me see. In summer, Craig and I plan on going on an Alaskan cruise. We're going to go out from either Seattle, Washington area or Bremerton area, one of those cruise areas on the coast of Washington state, or we'll go out of Vancouver in Canada. Haven't decided that. That will probably depend on whether I can find one of our resorts in Canada that's open at the time that we want to go. We also want to go to a family reunion that our family does in the summer at the end of summer. Okay. Now, my understanding is that that family reunion is set for the very end of August, which could be problematic for my two kids because college classes are going to start before then, most likely. So if they are taking in-person classes, that could be a problem. If they're taking online classes, they should be okay as long as they have online access. They're not going on the cruise with us, though. So that's something I will have to clear with my family to see if anybody is willing to take our kids. Most likely, I think my mom and dad are probably willing to take them off our hands for about a week while we're on the cruise. But I don't want to just assume that. I can't just make that assumption. So so the reality is I got to get more dates pinned down of when the cruise will be, when the family reunion will be, and if and when we're going to do our vacation resort over in Canada. Okay. And then approach my mom and dad or somebody else in my family and see if somebody is willing to take my kids for about a week while we go on an Alaskan cruise. And then either before or after the Alaskan cruise, we'll spend some time in Washington State to visit family members and friends. Washington State is where I graduated from high school, so I still have high school friends over there. Um, I have military friends over there. I have people that I was in the U.S. Army with when I was in the Army that still live over there in Washington State. So sometimes I go, sometimes I try to make little meetings, set up little meetings with them and go and see them. And sometimes I go and visit old friends from high school and cousins. A lot of our families over there, so like our family members and friends are all friends. We're all friends for the most part, and um, my cousins were friends, and it's just it's a lot of fun, and it's the only time that I get to see that side of the family. Really, is we try to do a once a year thing. During COVID, that couldn't happen, um, but outside of COVID, we usually try to make a trip over to Washington once a year. We try to make a trip over to Pennsylvania almost once a year. Um, see friends and family, have fun. But I think that's all I have for you. Um, I know I was thinking about doing another live stream, but I don't honestly remember what I was going to do it for. So I know eventually when I am all done doing the rewatches for House of the Dragon, I do plan on doing a live stream for that, but that will be a while. Expect at least 2 months from now um, before I do a live stream for that. And it would just be to discuss the whole season, if anybody's interested. Um, and all that reaction and discussion stuff is on my YouTube channel. I can put a link for my YouTube channel on my Facebook for anybody who wants it. Um, and I can put a link in the description for this live stream later on. But I think that's all I got for you. So it's nice talking to everybody. It looks like I don't have any comments, so that's okay. But like I said, if anybody, oh, my mom commented. Okay, so if anybody comes and watches this later, it says that my Facebook is waiting for, no, it says, yeah, it says my Facebook's waiting for a signal. Anyway, if anybody gets on later and you want to leave a comment, go ahead, feel free. I'm looking for any advice I can get. My mom says, fix what needs to be fixed before you look to buy something else. Yes, definitely. If you have cash for property, great. If not, wait for rates to go down. Right now they are high. Yeah, and that is definitely something we're planning on doing, and I am hoping that we can get as much of a down payment together as we can to try to offset the excess cost of moving to a more expensive area. Because what we did here, we bought this house when we were just starting out. We weren't newly married, but we had only been married for a couple years or so. We had just moved to Florida. We stayed with my aunt and uncle, and they were great while we were trying to get things in order. We stayed with my aunt and uncle for a while. That was that was really like the kind of extra little hand that we needed while Craig was getting work lined up and I was figuring out what on earth I was going to do with my life. So, and not too long after we moved to this area, I had my first kid. Okay. We moved into this house after we moved into this house right before I went in labor. Like I turned in the keys for our old apartment the day that I went in labor. Got my keys, turned them in. We had just finished unpacking not unpacking the boxes, but bringing all the boxes and stuff into the house. We had not unpacked the boxes, but we had brought the boxes into the house. We had cleared the apartment out, turned the keys into the apartment. I went into labor while I was turning the keys into the apartment, and then I had my kid at the hospital several hours later. So yeah, lots of stories. But like I said, it was over 20 years ago. My oldest kid is what, 20, 20 going on 42, whatever. And my youngest kid is younger than that. We'll just say that my youngest kid is in their senior year in high school and they're doing dual enrollment. So they're doing a couple of classes in college while they're working on their last year of high school. They plan on going into physics. We're still looking for a school that has a physics degree geared toward the areas that they are interested in. My oldest kid wants to get a history degree, but also wants that history degree to have some focus in science. So it's a little odd, an off the wall combination. And what we're figuring we'll probably have to do is put them in a history degree with a minor or certification in like astrophysics or something like that, or physics, or just some kind of basic science, something like that. The problem is that they don't like math very much. They do okay with math, but not great. So they are afraid to even like they haven't even wanted to go back to regular algebra 1 yet. So there is no way they're going to get a physics degree and it's likely they're not even going to get a physics certification or anything like that if they can't get past algebra 1 and 2, which is what they're going to need to do just for college math. But in order to go into like physics or any of those really, science areas, they're going to need to take, I think they have to take calculus 1 with analytical geometry just to meet prerequisites. So I don't know that they would be able to do that. But that's my kids. They've always had very broad interests, and they've always been pretty smart, just not, not always on that level that they might need to be in order to get into the programs that they want to get into. I think Kaylin might be able to manage it. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if Ben will. We shall see. Anyway, it's been long enough. I've been on for almost an hour, so I am going to get off here. There's still a little bit of daylight, and we are still working on cutting down that stupid pepper tree in our backyard. So while there is still a little bit of daylight, I am going to try to go back out there for a little while. That's why I have my hair up, old dirty shirt, because I am gonna go back out there and chop some more limbs off of that God bless America freaking tree. And hopefully, I don't know, hopefully get a little more done so I can feel like I've accomplished something today. And so that I can clear a little more of that space out. Uh, but that's it. Bye. And the YouTube live stream first.